Hey guys, how's it going? Onach here. Welcome to a new AOR Apex Online Racing League Race video. This time it is time for Spa-Francorchamps then, so obviously a very famous circuit. And we're getting in my Mercedes. So here we are then, ready for qualifying. As you can see, it's nice and sunny. But I can tell you that for the race there was quite some rain forecasted. There was 100% chance of rain in the race, so that's why I decided to make a little bit of a different setup. But anyway, I'm jumping straight into my quali lap, so no out lap this time or anything, just jumping straight into the hot lap. So here we go then, taking a nice and good exit out of the bus stop chicane and using the RS then and cursor and going across the line. And the timer starts then, so braking at the 100 meter board. Shift down to first gear and try to have a nice and good exit, maximize your exit, and then use a bunch of curves on the exit as well, around 200 curves, so half of your curves, and then get up to Eau Rouge, obviously very famous corner, and then the DRS activation point comes here into place. So there we go, activating DRS. My gear ratios are very short, that is because of the rain, but I will come later onto that. Then brake just before the 50 meter board for these fantastic corners. You want to stay over to the left hand side a little bit more to open up this right hander a bit more. Then brake when the curve starts, shift down to first gear, and then shift back up to second gear. I went a little bit too wide in there, a bit too deep, and it cost me a little bit of time, but still going. Running it a little bit wide here, a bit too wide, but I was quite slow on the apex, or too fast I should say. Then Pouhan, threw it in there, shift down from 7th to 6th gear, and then here brake at the 50 meter board again. First corner you want to take in 3rd gear, and then this left hander in the 4th gear. And brake down to 2nd gear, straight back up to 3rd once you get on the accelerator. Use the rest of our curves then. We are right now purple, so fastest of the session so far. And almost 2 tenths up on my previous lap. But I know that I have high wings because of the rain. So I'm probably going to lose here a little bit of time in the final sector, because you don't want to have high wings here. And I know Alex is running low wings at the moment. So we got a bus stop chicane, the final corner. Messed this up a little bit and running it well right there, completely over the white lines, using DRS and across the line to take home a 2nd place, 144.915. Alex is in pole position with a 144.7, so very good time from him. I can tell you that I didn't gain any time by going right there in that final bus stop chicane, which I will be showing you soon. Here is the proof. I'm having a little bit of a look at my times. In the first lap I did a 29.1 in that final sector, and this time I did a 29.2, so I didn't gain any time advantage. In fact, I think I lost a lot of time thanks to that, but it was my own mistake. And getting ready for the race now. So coming back onto that rain setup, I changed my setup. I had quite high wings. I was running basically lower wings if it wasn't going to rain in the race, but I ran quite high wings, which explained the speed loss, or why I was off the pace in the 1st and the 3rd sector. And also I have shorter gear ratio, so we will see if that's going to help me. I know that Alex is running low wings, so hopefully it will help me. So here are the lights coming on then. And they're out now, so there we go then, straight off the line. I think I have a pretty good start. Yes, I do have indeed. Obviously a lot of wheel spinning with this rain. It's full wet, so it's raining very hard, but I'm on the outside of Alex here. Kifla is there on my inside, and he leaves me not a lot of room, but just about enough to he didn't really squeeze me off the track there too much. So I'm dropped down to 3rd place then, still on the podium spots, but we are behind Kifla though. But we are in the slipstream, and I cannot see anything. And I am already in my ref limiter thanks to the short gear ratio, so I cannot overtake him. Braking very early here, just don't want to make any contact. As you see in front, Alex runs a little bit wide. It seems like Kifla can close up to him thanks to that, but not enough to overtake him just yet. And as you can see, I just cannot see anything here. I just have to brake, when I feel like it. Basically, you have to apply your feeling when you start to brake, because you cannot really see anything. As Kifla goes very slow there through that corner, made a little bit of contact there. He didn't have a great acceleration, great exit. And here again he has a very poor exit, and I do have a very good exit now, and I can avoid him this time. Going around the outside here, I think I have him here. Yes, I do have around the outside of Pouhan there. and there we go, and that's past Kifla, so back up to second place then. But unfortunately for us, Alex does have quite a bit of a gap in front. Let's see what the gap is. The gap is 1.2 seconds, so he already gained over a second to us. It seems like Kifla is dropping back as well. So basically this race, I knew that I was going to lose out in the first and third sector. I mean, you don't want to run high downforce here. Because, well, basically you need a lot of straight line speed for that. But I did knew, oh, there's a little bit of an accident behind us. Look in the mirror, a lot of cars going wide there, as you can see on the minimap as well. I think Kifla, he outbraked himself and I just locked up. So Kifla dropped down a lot, and Jack first moves himself up to P3 then. And indeed I lost 3 tenths in that final sector to Alex already. And well, I basically knew that I had to gain a lot of time then in the second sector, because you do want to have quite a bit of downforce for that sector. As I go to a rich mixture, that is basically my fuel strategy for this race, using a rich mixture in the first sector, and then I'll switch down to mix 1 soon, as you see here, switching down to mix 1 for these couple of corner combinations, and then I'll soon switch back to mix 2. Which you will see in a second. Again, lost 2 tenths in that first sector, but let's see if I can then close down on him, close him down in this second sector with the higher downforce. So here's the point then where I get back up to mix 2. There we go. So that is my fuel strategy for this race. So went a little bit wider into Puhan. Obviously you don't really know the conditions just yet, and you have to get used to the grip levels and stuff like that. As I went too deep into this corner, usually that's a good line. I mean, in the rain you don't want to be close to the apex because it's very slippery close to the apex, but unfortunately this game, when it rains, you want to get, you know, close to the apex always, even when it rains. But usually it's not really a good idea to, you know, stay close to the apex when it rains in the real F1. Luckily I indeed gained about 3 tenths on Alex in that middle sector, but I presume that he will be again extending the gap in this final sector probably. Although I do get a braking quite right for this bus stop chicane now. Actually seems like I got a little bit closer. Maybe I do have a very poor exit out of that bus stop chicane, and indeed that extended the gap to 1.5 seconds. But we are skipping now to the ending of lap 3, third sector, 1.2 seconds to Alex. I managed to close him down, and as you saw there as well, I did a purple time, so fastest of anyone basically so far. So that is good news for us, obviously. Went a little bit too deep there, which compromises me for that left-hander. Not too bad though, but again having a very poor exit out of that chicane. Although I do have the fastest lap of the race, 156.1, and the gap to Alex is again 1.5 seconds, so again lost 3 tenths in that final sector. But you know, it was my own choice running high wings, and out of hindsight I can tell you that I shouldn't have done that. I basically should have stayed on my usual wing settings and my usual gear ratios, because it won't really benefit me in this race. But that is easy to say right now out of hindsight. At that point in qualifying I thought it would be a good idea, as I gained a lot of time on Alex there. It will be a good idea, but yeah, looking back at it now, it's not a good idea. But you know, I learned from that, and next time I will hopefully then be smart enough to realize that it's better to run maybe a little bit higher wings, but not, you know, not a lot. Basically, when you are running 1-1, basically maybe it's a good idea to run 2-1 instead of 1-1 then. But I was running much more than that for this race. I was running 5-4 wings, and that is obviously not very good for straight line speed. But I did adjust the gear ratios to that. But still, it's not really working out so far that well. Although I am closing down on Alex, which is good to see. He might be struggling with tire wear, although I am usually the one who is struggling with tire wear. The gap is still within 1 second, just 9 tenths. Hopefully we can follow him, and hopefully also the slipstream will help us a little bit, because we obviously do need quite a bit of help on in terms of straight line speed. So that would, you know, that would come in handy if we can use the slipstream of him. Bit of a moment there, had to correct very quickly there. Getting slowly on the throttle in the rain out of that chicane, it's very easy to generate a lot of wheel spin. I don't know, but it seems like Alex doesn't really have that much trouble with getting the power on, or getting on the power. He always is much more consistent in terms of, you know, putting down the power and stuff like that. He's more consistent compared to me, I would say. So he's pulling away quite a bit every time when he gets on the throttle. Although I'm definitely closing him down, and also I think the slipstream is helping me a little bit. It is indeed helping me. I gained 4/10 on in there, and doing a purple sector as well. And as you saw there, I was also in the ref limiter. So the gear ratios are kind of short because I was already in the ref limiter there. So I made another mistake for in terms of setup. The gear ratios were too short as I have a load of understeer there. Excuse me. As I said, the gear ratios, yeah, I think they were too short. But yeah, again, should learn from that for the next race when we have another situation like this. I mean, the qualifying was dry, but I knew that the race was going to be wet, and I tried to anticipate on that, but didn't work. Looking back on the qualifying a little bit, I did a 44.9, I think it was. My personal best was a 44.5. Which was with a setup, but which was concentrated on the race, or focused on the race. So I think a 44.3 would have been possible maybe when you know, get a real qualifying setup. But obviously you do want to keep the race in mind when you make a setup. As I have a little bit of understeer through Blanchimont, thanks to the dirty air coming off Alex's car, but I'm definitely closing him down. And also when I get close to a car, basically your visor or your view starts to become all blurry and stuff, which is quite hard to judge, you know, when you have to turn in and when to brake and stuff like that, especially in cockpit mode. It's very hard. I can tell you that I was also struggling later on in the race with the mirrors. I couldn't really, you know, I didn't really know if there was a car alongside me or not, but you will see that later on in this race. Also, I can tell you that this will be a very good race, especially the ending, so stay tuned. I'm not going to spoil anything right now, as I'm again in the slipstream but hitting the ref limiter, so I cannot close down more on him. Yeah, not going to spoil anything or anything like that, but it will be a very good ending, I can trust you that, so stay tuned. And it's going to be a very good race, I can tell you that. And oh, suddenly Alex dropped back. He dropped behind me, as you saw there, but he did get me back somehow though. It was very weird. I can tell you that Alex is sometimes having screen freezes, and that basically happened there, so he had a big lag, and then that moved himself back to me for some reason, but luckily nothing major, you know, happened. And again, it's happening again, so he again dropped me behind me. That's basically a gift for me. That gifted me the lead, so this is very weird. I never have stuff like that, but Alex does have it sometimes when he has a screen freeze, and basically that drops him back on the track by half a second or something like that, so it's very annoying for him. And again, that gifted us the lead, so let's see what we can do with that lead, you know, whether we can extend it or, yeah, let's see. Half a second up right now on Alex. And I forgot to show the strategy, but the strategy for this race is 7 laps on the wet tires. And look in the mirror, there comes Alex. He comes into the pit, so he's trying to do the undercut on me, pitting 1 lap earlier, and then he has a good outlap and passes me again. But we will see. Oh, as I have a little bit of oversteer on the entry of that corner there, but nothing too serious, luckily. So yeah, we skip then to the ending of lap 7. This is my scheduled pit stop then. And going to lean mix 1. The gap to Alex is 12 seconds, and the pit time is about 13 to 12 seconds as well. So it's probably going to be very close at the pit exit here. Choosing the wet tire and going to lean, so I don't want to use any fuel, you know, unnecessary while we do the pit stop. So there we go, then another set of wet tires. The next scheduled pit stop should be at lap 14, but look at the min map, Alex is crossing the finish line, and he basically passed us already, but I will have the inside for this corner. This is a shorter route compared to his route, but he will have a better run out of that first corner than me, and he indeed had a better run, so he gains still some speed on me though. But luckily, I'm not too far back on him though, but he did manage to overtake me on his outlap. He had a very good outlap with those fresh intermediate, no, sorry, with those wet tires. But we are again in a slipstream, so basically the battle is on once again. And again, there you saw the screen becoming blurry and stuff. It's not really, you know, it's not really that bad when you look back at the replay, but trust me, when you are racing, it is very, very hard to really still, you know, focus and keep control and really know what you're doing. I mean, when you look back at it, it doesn't look that difficult, but trust me, when you're driving and racing, it's much more difficult. So a lot of understeer here. Didn't expect that. I mean, new tires, you should expect, I expected they would give a lot of grip, but had a lot of understeer there in Puhan. Great corner, by the way, Puhan, especially in the dry. I must say that I prefer racing in the dry. I'm not really such a great wet driver. I definitely prefer driving in the dry, and I must say that I was very confident for this race in terms of pace, race pace. But that was in the dry, so yeah, I was more comfortable in the dry, but unfortunately it rained, and yeah, you just have to deal with that then. No problem. And again, closing Alex down, but I don't know, it's not easy to pass him when you don't have the top speed for it. I mean, obviously the best chance to pass another car is on the straight, using slipstream and then pulling on the inside or outside, whether he defends the inside. As he does a fast lap of the race, 155.3. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can stick with him. Going to mix 3 once again. That's my fuel strategy, as I told before. And indeed here again, hitting the ref limiter. Cannot do anything about it. It does seem like Alex has a little bit longer gear ratios than me, but not too much though. I think he was hitting the ref limiter there as well on that straight, so he must be using which mixture as well to defend. So you go to middle sector once again. I should have an advantage over him here, and I think I do indeed. I mean, you can see it in that corner. Even though I have the dirty air, I can still manage to keep up with him. But then again, I'm losing it on the straights. Puhan this time much better than before actually. It gripped quite well there. So lap 9 then, not even half away. Obviously Spa is a very long track. I like shorter tracks in general. I mean, a lot of people like Spa-Francorchamps, but for me it's just like any other track, to be fair. It's not really something special to me. Yes, we do purple, so fast lap of the race and just 3/10 behind Alex and very close to him now. We are approaching Blanchimon, which is the very fast left-hander. But it seems like I still stay behind him. I have to focus on the light which is flashing on the back of this car in order to use that as a marker where he is pulling on the inside, but no, braking very early there. I don't want to make any contact, and the screen was basically blurry for the whole third sector there. So that was quite dangerous, and I just had to brake quite early there. I cannot brake very late because I basically don't know when I'm braking, thanks to that blurry screen. It obviously doesn't help either driving in cockpit view, but you know, that's my own choice. Oh, very unconcentrated there, hitting the wall. That was very sloppy. That wasn't necessary. But yeah, again, it's my own choice to drive in cockpit mode as I close down Alex once again, but once again in the ref limiter as well. So here we go. Can overtake him, you know, with these gear ratios. So probably my only chance to overtake him is in this middle sector where I do have the grip. More grip than him probably. That corner is very tricky though with dirty air. I mean, it goes downhill slightly. And yeah, this is quite hard. Also, it generates quite a bit of understeer. Let's see Puhan this time. Yeah, this time goes quite well. And well, once again, it happened on the same place as before. And that gifted me the first place once again. So, surprise there. And I got really lucky at this point then. We had a good battle in our hands, but again, it happened there. Anyway, P1 then. And not yet halfway through the race, and Alex is still quite close behind me. Look in the mirror, he's coming up to me, and he is on the outside of Blanchimont. Maybe made a little bit of contact there, but as I said before, I just cannot really see anything in the mirrors. Well, I can see obviously, but remember that I also have to pay attention to my own driving. He wasn't on the outside at the entry of the corner, so I didn't expect him to you know, suddenly come out of nowhere on the outside there. But he was on the outside at the exit there. Maybe made a little bit of contact, a little bit naughty probably for me. But luckily nothing too serious happened there. As we did the fastest lap of the race, 155.3. Let's see what Alex can do then now. I mean, he's still behind me. Remember, he has a higher top speed than me. He has lower wings, so he should be in an advantage, especially in this first and third sector. And look in the mirrors, I used a lot of curves. And I can just about stay ahead of him when we come into this braking, but he brakes very late and he's around my outside. Have to leave him room side by side through this corner combination, still side by side, and who gets the better exit here? I do have the better exit here, but he is still on my outside, braking here then. A little bit of a moment there, just about managed to still hold on to that first place, but only just about. As you saw there, we were side by side. He braked very late for that corner, and he managed to swing it basically around my outside there. Let's go a little bit wider and pull on. So we were side by side through those, what was it, 3 corners probably. Very exciting stuff there. Just about managed to fend off that position and keep the lead then. But again, Alex is really close behind us, so I do expect him to have a good run. I didn't have such a great run, but still, he is very close behind us. Let's see what he can do again. He's closing us down. Look in the mirror. Coming up to Blanchimont once again. Is he going around the outside again? Yes, he does go around the outside once again, but it is the longer way. Still leaving him room, and he's on the outside then for the bus stop chicane. And he takes me here, but I do want to have the undercut then. But a bit of contact there. He basically blocked the inside there. But I do have a better exit out of the bus stop chicane though. Side by side coming onto the main straight or the start finish straight, braking for the first corner then. Look in the mirrors. Alex spun. Alex spun in the first corner, La Source, that corner is called. And another very lucky moment for me there. Basically, I'm having a big lead. Well, not really that big, but I do have a big lead probably. Not that big once again, but quite a bit of a lead. Look at who is in third place, by the way, Vegas Pirate. 25 seconds behind Alex, so it's basically a battle between me and Alex in terms of the first position. Although Alex has dropped back a lot thanks to that, 5 seconds. So we will skip to lap 14, beginning of lap 14. Remember, the gap was 4.8 before. Let's see what it is now. As I do the fastest lap of the race, the gap now is 4.8, and it is now 5 seconds. So basically, I managed to gain about 2/10 in 2 laps time. So that's not too bad, but once again, I think I'm really lucky here this race. With Alex's screen freezes first, and also he spun in the first corner. I can tell you what happened. Basically, Alex's steering wheel is a little bit broken. Sometimes when he shifts down, the wheel recognizes it as 2 clicks instead of 1. So basically, he went into the reverse gear, which is very sad for him, obviously. Skiflat does a fast lap of the race, 155.4, good lap from him. And extending the gap to Alex still, 5.2 seconds now. This should be the scheduled pit stop for the wet tires, so exciting to see what I will do. I mean, the skies look definitely a lot clearer, a lot brighter I should say. And I can tell you that my teammate was telling me that it was pretty much ready for inters. I think he was on the inter tires, and he basically said that the inter tires were pretty good, so that's quite a surprise. I mean, these wet tires, they seem to have quite still a bit of grip. I mean, look at this. I'm doing fastest lap, fastest sector of the race there, so they still have quite a bit of grip left in them, and they are not so worn as well. So maybe I should consider continuing another lap, or I could pit right now for inter tires and then do 8 laps in the final stint on those tires. Let's see what I'm going to do. As I have a big lockup though. and I'm going to pit then. Yeah, there we go. Bit of an illegal pit move, pit entry I should say, but obviously couldn't really do anything about it because I had a big log up. Very lucky to still, you know, keep it a bit on track. I mean, it is possible to have a really big lock up there, and then you will end up way off the track, but luckily that didn't happen. So I'm switching to the intermediate tires then, and look at Alex, he's still going on those wet tires. So this will be exciting. Let's see which is the faster tire. Maybe the inter tires are good, maybe the wet tires are good. No one knows, but my teammate, I basically trusted him, and I went for the intermediate tires then, so he told me that they were pretty good. Let's see if they are really good as well. Obviously the first sector isn't really a challenge for them, but it will be a challenge in the second sector where you have a lot more corners. So here we go then. Quite careful. I don't know the grip levels, but it seems pretty good. The gap to Alex is 6.8 seconds, so let's keep that in mind, see if we can close down on him. Although it seems like I have a lot of understeer here though. Yeah, I do have a lot of understeer, so this might be the wrong choice, I'm not sure. But again here, the grip's actually fantastic, so I don't know. Let's see, Puhan. Yeah, it grips very well here. I was actually quite a bit surprised by the amount of grip there. You heard the grass a little bit, so I went a little bit over the grass on the apex there. No, they seem perfectly fine, so I should say thanks to my teammate Chicane. He basically recommended me the intermediate tires, so thanks Chicane. There was some good advice, although Alex does seem to be pulling away from me, but I think that is thanks to that big understeer moment. The gap is just about 7 seconds. I do expect Alex to come in this lap though for intermediate tires. Let's see on the minimap if we can see him. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, he's still, he's still going actually. He's not pulling into the pits. So he's going another lap on those full wet tires. And I definitely think that the intermediate tires are doing quite a good job right now. I mean, they do have quite a good grip. 6.6 indeed, so I gained about 3/10 on Alex, even though that final sector is my strongest point, thanks to the car setup. So that does show that the intermediate tires aren't too bad. And also that was in mix 1 actually, so I gained 3/10 on him with mix 1, so I think these inter tires are the best right now. But Alex is still on the wet tires, 6.3, so indeed I'm still closing him down. And I think it's time for Alex to pit then. Remember, those wet tires will be quite worn as well. Let's go a little bit wide here. Big oversteer moment there. Luckily managed to keep it out of the gravel. Otherwise you will end up having more problems than when you touch the grass. So here we go then, Puhan once again. And there suddenly the grip is just gone. Very weird though. My teammate does a fast lap off the raid, she gained 153.9. But again, very weird though. Suddenly the grip, it seems like the grip is just turned off, basically. Might sound a little bit weird, but it is the truth. And now the grip is turned on once again, and we have the grip again. So the gap to Alex, 5 seconds. Gained over a second on him then in that middle sector, even though I hadn't mistaken Puhan. So I think Alex should come in this lap though. It would surprise me if he doesn't come in. Let's have a look at the minimap. Does he pull into the pit lane? Yes, he does. So there he goes. He goes into the pit lane. And that gives me the first position back then with just 6 more laps remaining. And it does seem like we are looking really good for the window. 154.1. Remember my teammate did a 153.9, so good pace from him. So here we go then. Alex is still into the pits. He will come out of the pits very soon, and we will have a look at the gap in a second when we get, when the gaps show up. Jack first right now in 3rd position, so he managed to overtake Justin probably, Vegas Pirate, or suffocate to Vegas Pirate, not sure. No purple sector, but I am 4/10 up, almost half a second up on my previous sector. 6.4, no 8.4 it was, sorry, not 6.4. So 8.4 seconds then, and going to lap 18, and we do the fast lap of the race, 152.6. And remember the gap was 8.4 and is now 7.4 as we go to lap 19, doing another fast lap of the race. Remember the gap was 7.4 previous lap to Alex, and the gap is now 6.8. So he's still gaining on me, and he's gaining on me every lap, but it doesn't seem like at the moment that it is enough for him to overtake me, does it? Doesn't really look like it at the moment. I mean, just about 4 laps to go. And a gap of 6 seconds, we should be able to fan it off. Although I do have a little bit of problem with the fuel, so we should go to lean, mix one. So 6.4 it was, I think. 6.8, 6.4 probably. No, it probably was 6.8 because he managed to gain about 2 tenths than me on me then. Whoa, big understeer moment here again in that hairpin. And it cost me a lot of time, so here again the grip is quite good, but I had a lot of understeer there, and as well the tires are going off quite a bit, so I'm struggling with tire wear with just 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go. Remember Alex, he pitted quite early, no, he pitted quite late I should say, and I pitted quite early, so he is the one who has fresher tires right now, and my tires are basically, yeah, they are going off very very quick at a very fast rate. The gap was 6.6 it was, I think, and it is right now 5.2. Holy, he gained 1.4 seconds on me there, and this might be a very interesting battle then, with just over 3 laps remaining. He's definitely closing us down, and I have to stay calm in this situation. Remember, 5.2 seconds. And it is now 5.2, 4.7. Another half a second he gained on us in that final sector. We might be in trouble here with just 3 laps to go. There he goes, he does fast lap of the race as well. So skipping to lap 21 then. Here we go, as you can see on the minimap, he's much closer than before. It was 4.7 and it is now 3.1, so he managed to gain like what, another 1.6 seconds in just 1 lap. And with just 2 laps remaining, that would mean that he is going to end up right behind me, or right in front of me actually, at the end of this race. So this is going to be very exciting. Just 2 more laps remaining, and my tires aren't in a good shape, but I presume that his tires are in quite a good shape because he is closing me down by a lot of time. Let's see the gap now, 2.8. He gained 3 tenths again, but it's not really that first sector where I'm losing it now. It's also the second sector. So basically what has been my strongest point throughout the whole race is right now also one of my weak points. And again, lots of understeer there. I don't know, I think it's just a tire wear coming into play. Again, missing my apex there, and a little bit of oversteer on the exit as well. So not a great situation for me, but I try to keep telling myself to stay calm. I mean, this is just the best thing you can do. Stay cool, stay calm. Otherwise you might end up making another mistake. So I'm going to mix one once again because I have a little bit of fuel problems. And look on the minimap, he seems to be closing me down a lot, and it's going to be very exciting. We will have the upper hand at the end of this race, so we will win this race. And the gap is 2.1 seconds now, so he gained I think 7 tenths in that middle sector on me. Might be a very exciting last lap. I don't know how his tires are looking, but I presume it is much better than my tires at the moment. My tires are falling off, and you can see him already in my mirrors. You can see him in my mirrors, so try to stay calm is the best thing right now. I was quite calm at this stage, even though he is closing me down a lot, 1.6 seconds with just 1 more lap to go. But I knew that it was best to stay cool, stay calm, and that always is better than you know, panicking, stuff like that. So going to a rich mixture, even though I am on -1, but I have to in order to fan him off. I mean, I know that once he gets in my slipstream, he will have, you know, another advantage, which is the slipstream. So I do want to stay ahead of him as much as I can. Although he managed to get another 2 tenths on me in that first sector, and this will be a very close ending, I think, to this race. It's very exciting stuff. Somehow the grip is a little bit better than before, even though it does look quite slow. I have to go quite slow in order to have, you know, grip into the corners, and he is closing me down. I'm still on -1, I think, -1 fuel, and I'm still on -1, so I can save some fuel. Maybe I will need that in the third sector of this race. This is going to be a very crazy race. I have been lucky in this race, but still, it might be turning out that Alex will win this race. Final sector to get in. I have to have a good run out of this corner, which I didn't really manage that well. And now he has also the slipstream advantage then. I'm still on -1, going to -3 now, because I have to fend him off. But look in the mirrors, he is having a lot of slipstream on me and a lot of speed on me as well with his low wings. He's going around my outside. No, he's not going around the outside. He's going to around my outside for this bus stop chicane. And let's see who's braking late. He brakes very late and side by side into the bus stop chicane. I'm on the outside here, so basically he has the inside here. And that should mean that he has a better exit as well. And we're stuck to each other. And going across the line and side by side, who is going to win? There we go. I won. As you can see, the gap 0.052. Crazy ending to this race. And my teammate Chicane in P11 there. I can tell you that he was struggling at the end with his tires. He basically switched to the wet tires in the end, which wasn't the best choice. He said that himself. So he switched to the wet tires and then switched again to the wet tires. Congratulations to Jack first, taking home a third place. But man, what a finish to this race. Crazy stuff there, definitely. And we will have another look at that soon in the replays. But crazy ending there. We also got stuck to each other at the exit of the bus stop chicane. Basically, once you get stuck to each other, it's very difficult to basically release yourself from each other, basically. So here we go then. This is the championship right now. One thing to say or to mention is that it's quite remarkable. Is that the right word? Remarkable, probably. That Alex and me are the only one who have won so far in the races. We have had 6 rounds, and all of those 6 rounds were either won by me or Alex. So it's quite remarkable. So I'm right now in the lead, 151 points, having a lead of 10 points to Alex, who was in P2 after that crazy race, and Grenu in third place, 66 points, and he is 85 points behind me. So it definitely looks like it's going to be a battle between me and Alex in terms of the championship. As you can see on the calendar as well, upcoming races, Monza, Singapore and Korea, and those are the 3 tracks that I'm struggling with quite a lot. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm going to struggle with them. I always struggle with them, and I always struggle at this stage of the season, basically. In every season, I have bad races in Monza, Singapore, and Korea. So this is my time that I have to maximize. Maybe do some damage limitations, because I know that Alex likes those tracks and will be very quick at them. So I have to maximize in the next 3 races. But after that, we will have Suzuka, which is a track I adore. Great track. I really love that track. After that comes Abu Dhabi, which is not my favorite. It is Alex's favorite track. And then comes America, which I like. We also have India, which I like. And we have then obviously Brazil, and then the season will end. So lead of 10 points over Alex, not much. Yeah, crazy race. Obviously I had a different strategy compared to Alex. Alex had low wings, well, lower than me, and I think, to be honest, I think that was the right choice. I think I made the wrong choice here, going with a bit higher downforce. I mean, it did help me definitely in the first couple of laps, but after that, I think it wasn't really that big of an advantage. I should have gone with lower wings instead of the high wings. But it's obviously, as I said before, something you have to learn from. It's a learning point, which hopefully will be good for next race. I hope you guys have enjoyed this race. Very hectic once again, especially the ending there. So we will have a look at the slow motion once again. I mean, we went side by side coming into the bus stop chicane. and he was around my outside, and he had the right tires. I think at that point he had a lot of grip, much more than me, I think. He went around my outside, so very good move from him. Very close racing as well. And then basically when you have that left-hander, he was on the inside for the left-hander as well. And basically that gives you a better run at the exit. And he indeed got a better run, but I had a lot of oversteer on the exit, and that's basically the reason why I got stuck to him. And then we went side by side across the line. So looking back at it just one more time, here we had the apex of the corner, still side by side through this corner. Obviously he had the inside here, and then I go around the outside here. But I do want to say this, I think he doesn't leave me enough room here, which caused me to get a little bit off track there with 2 wheels off the track, which caused the oversteer, and that caused the bit of contact. So it's very tough to leave room through that corner, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that basically was the cause why we made a bit of contact there. And I can tell you that Alex's fuel Alex ran out of fuel basically, so that's where I gained the time, and eventually I won because of that. Also, maybe the reason why we got stuck was because he ran out of fuel. Because I know you get, when there's a car going slower and you make a little bit of contact, yeah, you basically are stuck to each other. So that's basically what happened. I think I tried to release myself basically from him because I turned to the right, but somehow in the Scope Masters game, when you turn to the right, when you get stuck with another person, you basically, you're stuck. Basically, well, not forever, but yeah, for quite a long while. Anyway. That's it. Very hectic race. I think actually this was as well my home race. I live obviously in the Netherlands, and this was the Belgian Grand Prix. But I think this circuit is the circuit which is closest to my house on the calendar. It is about 3 or 4 hours, I think, from my house. So yeah, very happy to win my home race. But I do have to say that I was really lucky there. I obviously have to be realistic. I got help there with the screen freezes, and obviously Alex going into reverse gear. And then I was struggling definitely in the final stint. But again, lucky that Alex ran out of fuel. Well, maybe not lucky because you have to manage your fuel obviously, but yeah, I think you can see it as lucky. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed it once again. Next race will be Monza then. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have liked the video. If you have liked the video, I would appreciate a like. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.